It's Monday, it's 8 p.m. That means only one thing. It's the Monday assessment.
Your people gather around your town when things are on the up or things are falling down. Celebrate the hard times, stay passionate through the lows, find strength in the chaos, no matter which way it goes. It's not easy being blue. Heartbreak comes in many ways, the hardest times, the darkest days, but all these things get washed away with us, with us. The highs might not come every day, but memories do, and memories stay. Enjoy that moment anyway with us, with us, with us. It's not easy being blue. It's not easy being blue.
Evening everyone and welcome back to the Monday Assessment by the View from the Medway Fancast in partnership with the Gillingham FC Supporters Club, Sports Social Podcast Network and Her Game 2, and sponsored by Snod Her Shoes Car Sales and Service Station and Wiki Creative. I need to quickly do a few call outs today because obviously John's little girl Olivia has gone to university and these little girl's gone to university, so be sure shout out there. Also, I want to Kimbo from a fan that was Notts County. She sadly passed away, so we need to have a call out there as well. But we will get into the game, and joy to be joined by David, co-host, and Dwayne Hill, my trusted away friend, and from Jasper. So how are we, boys?
Good, mate. We're
All good, mate.
Good stuff, good stuff. So we will go straight into the views news. I'll hand over to David because Warren isn't here today. So, yeah, it's up to you.
No worries. I will babysit it well. So first topic for everyone to talk about is the retrospective ban for Gareth McCleary. Tom, I'll start with you. What is your thoughts on the decision, and have the FA put themselves in a really difficult position moving forward?
Yeah, they have. I think that's the overriding emotion of that is we don't like to see obvious cheating in football. I don't think anybody really wants to see that. Obviously, when it's your own player, you kind of you don't mind it a little bit if it gets you an advantage. But I think it's like VAR in it. You have to draw the line as to what is an obvious error and what isn't. Now, my biggest issue with VAR is that referees don't back themselves anymore. They don't back up what they do on the pitch. They go over to the screen, and 99 times out of 100, they change their outcome, or they go with what they're advised to by the assistants or the VAR text or whatever. In this instance, the referee's made a judgment call to give the penalty based on what he's seen at the angle that he's seen it at. Now, if it's not been flagged up on Sky Sports and watched back 100 times, it doesn't get given. It doesn't. The 2-game ban doesn't get given, and would go ahead with that decision. So I think we're a little bit unlucky, and Gareth is unlucky. It's not a dive. It's also not a penalty if we can, find a middle ground there. So I don't agree with the longevity of the ban. I don't agree with the fact that the punishment doesn't fit the crime. But also, as you say now, Dave, we've got to look at how does the FA regulate this going forward? How do they decide what is a 2-game ban? How do they decide what is deception, what is cheating? It's a slippery slope, I think, now. And unfortunately, this has sort of started that conversation. Now we're going to be looking for it every single week, aren't we? For, up and down the country as to what is a similar kind of, a similar error, sort of element of misconduct, but don't really agree with it because it does open a big can of worms. So it'd be interesting to see what happens next.
Thank you, mate. And Damon, same to you, mate. But do you think the timing of the incident and the scoreline affected the decision? For example, if it was a consolation goal for the Gills and we were 3-0 down and that penalty was to make it 3-1, do you think we would have seen the same outcome?
No, I don't think we would have done. I think we also suffered for it being on Sky Sports. I think the world's eyes watching, I think, didn't help. But to come out and say it's 100% dive, I think it's completely incorrect. I think if you watch the lead up to the goal, he was running. It looked like there was some contact with a defender. He sort of went down into the goalkeeper. I think to say it's 100% dive, I can't see how that's happened. But they've obviously got to be 100% to give the decision. I find it odd, very odd. Like I say, I think we suffer the fact the Sky cameras were watching, and I think, like you say, because it was an equalising goal, I don't think that helped the case. But also the 2-game ban. I mean, if it's seen on the pitch, it's a yellow card offence, is it not? So why is it now a 2-game ban? I think they need to come out and speak a bit more on this because, like I say, I think it's going to open up a can of worms. And I think going forward, I mean, you're going to be picking apart every single game. And yeah, I find it very odd, very odd.
Cheers, mate. And lastly to you, Chris, obviously same question regarding the outcome, but do you think this puts a target on Gareth's head moving forward and possibly on our head that people are going to be looking for if our players go down softly, that it could affect us in the long run?
I think I kind of echo what Dwayne was saying there. I don't think it would. I don't think it will. I think it's just because the Sky cameras were there. They are obviously the cash cow for the Premier League and for the FA. I think it would never happen in this league unless they were there. And I think that, it's just a load of bollocks, mate, really. I think if we're going to sit there and talk about fouls that happen in League Two every single week that could have been or could not have been, then we're going to be there a week. We're going to be there with like players being suspended. We're going to be players. It was literally, as Dwayne said, like the Sky cameras were there. They thought they'd like be a little bit pretty and like bully the small man, essentially.
Dave, just to sort of add to that, like if a foul, a similar offence takes place in the middle of the pitch, when it doesn't result in a goal, it's the same context, the same crime's been committed, the same law's been broken effectively, but it hasn't resulted in a sort of, it hasn't resulted in anything that might change the game. If you look at Josh Andrews, his the first penalty we got against Chesterfield a few weeks back, most of us have looked at that and gone, that's not a penalty. That's just the keeper's got the ball and Josh has gone over. Yeah. What makes that different to what Gareth's done a couple of weeks back? Is it just because it's the first half of the game and it doesn't impact the score? Well, it does, because obviously it puts us one in front. So it's up for now the FA to start playing God and start working out what is going to impact the game and what isn't. So it's just a slippery slope, really.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. On to the second topic. So Gareth Ainsworth was awarded Manager of the Month for August. So I will start with you, Dwayne. So for the third season in a row, after Neil Harris, Mark Bonner, and now Gareth Ainsworth, Gillingham have had the League Two Manager of the Month. And I'm sure this has never happened before for the same club to have Manager of the Month in the same month under three different managers. But hey, I think we can all agree that he deserved it. Whether we wanted him to get it after previous seasons is another question. But what have you noticed in the first month under Gareth, even compared to his spell at the back end of last year, that's made a difference to the start of this season?
I think the team look more confident. I think we've got a better squad of players. They all seem to be pulling in the same direction. They're chasing every ball. They're battling. They're fighting. And there's just a will to win now, which I don't think was probably there last season. It was like last season we go a goal down, the heads drop, suddenly 2-3-0. Whereas this season we go a goal down, and that's not there anymore. There's confidence in that team. They feel like they could battle anyone. They could come back from any situation, like we saw at Bromley. I mean, at 2-0 down again, not playing well, but there's this belief now that regardless of whether we're playing well or not so well, that we can come back. I think Ainsworth's incredible, absolutely incredible. But I was concerned when I see that he got manager of the month. I thought, that's it, game over. Here we go, Notts County 3-0. But yeah, I just think it's brought with togetherness. Him, his management's backroom team, coaches, everyone just seems to be on the same path. And I think the supporters have bought into that. I think we're very much united behind him, behind the players. We stick up for our players. And yeah, it's good to see, and long may it continue.
And Chris, a bit of a weird one. Are you intrigued to see what happens when we do suffer a defeat? To see what happens to this squad under Gareth? Because obviously we've not experienced defeat yet. And are you interested in seeing what happens with this bunch of players and how Gareth reacts to an actual defeat?
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to think about it, mate. Like, it's all going rosy at the moment, isn't it? But it's a real testament when things aren't going right, how we correct them. So yeah, I'm willing to see it. I think Gareth will deal with it. But yeah, I think it's definitely, as you say, like, you know, we can all sit here and say that we're doing great. But then when we get that bad run of form, then that will be the real test for me.
And finally, with you, Tom, what do you want to see more from Gareth that we haven't seen yet, or do you think we've seen everything that he has to offer on the touchline?
Yeah, I don't know what more he can give, frankly. I mean, he spends all week bigging the players up, you know, bigging the fans up, sort of like saying about how much he's been supported. I don't think anybody could say that he's not putting everything into it. I think, you know, we've obviously had a few managers in the past where the relationship with the fans has been a little bit up and down, obviously at times for various reasons. And a lot of that comes down to form and just confidence and the way the team play. And so the team are all playing really well. Those that aren't starting the game coming on and making a difference. What I do like is that actually at the end of the matches, anyone that's not in the squad for various reasons, injury, whatever, is still on the pitch with the rest of the squad, approaching the fans. It's a very together unit. Don't think Gareth would want anything different to that. I think he would insist on that sort of, you know, group, sort of, you know, collective effort. So I don't know what more he can do. I think if we start demanding more of him, I think we're gonna, you know, have unrealistic expectations of you know, an unbeaten season or stuff like that. But no, I just think it's all rosy right now. And as the guys have said, long may it continue. But no, as far as Gareth's concerned, what he's done in the past sort of, you know, few months over the course of the summer as well has been, you know, really, really positive. So let's just hope when the defeat does come, we don't turn onto him right away.
And now for the main topic. Ex-Gillingham player Jack Nolan was released on deadline day, mutual agreement to terminate his contract, and he's ended up at National League side Morecambe. So he has moved to Tyson Fury's part of the world. Now, is he going to show fight in National League? And I'll start with you, Chris, because I think this is the one that people are going to want to hear.
Really?
Obviously, National League does seem quite a drop for a player 2 seasons ago who scored a hatful of goals. I know for us last season, obviously, it didn't work out. He only scored on his debut. And funnily enough, scored on his debut for Morecambe. Do you think this is his level? And do you think Morecambe are going to get the Accrington version of Jack Nolan, or are they going to get the Gillingham version?
Trying to work this out in a balanced way. I wish him well. I hope he does well for whatever team he does. I'm not going to sit there and poo-poo and say that I think he does shit. But at the same time, when you're coming to a club at League Two level and you've got such a fucking, you've got something there that you could actually do and you just don't do it. He's then obviously dropped down to Morecambe. I wish Morecambe all the well, by the way. I just don't think that I don't think he's got it, mate. I think he's had one good season at Accrington, and then he's just dropped down. And I hope him well. I wish him well. I think he's just shit. To be fair, I just don't think he's a very good football player. I think he's absolutely fucking terrible. And for me, like his ego is probably what is getting in the way of him being a massively good football player.
Cool. I'll come to you next, Tom. Why didn't it work at Gills? Was it formation? Was it the creativity around him? Did we not get him in the right areas, or was it Jack himself, or is it a mixture of everything that it just didn't work when he was with us?
Be a few things. I think Jack strikes me as a sort of player, and we can only base it on what we've seen here, is that when the team are doing really well, he's doing really well. When the team are on their arse, he's also the same. I don't think he's got the personality to lift his game to stand out. Accrington would have been a different situation. He would have been, the star man there. He would have been someone who stood out and got, the assists and goals that he did in an unfancied team. Whereas with us, the stakes are raised a little bit. We're a team that, a lot of people would have been touting for promotion or playoffs or whatever. Didn't pan out. In that situation, we had a lot of players last season who underperformed in terms of their attitude, in terms of their ability. And Jack, to me, doesn't stand out as someone who would have taken the game by the scruff of the neck and gone, you know what, I'm going to sort this out. Jack strikes me as somebody who would potentially have been a little bit in the background and maybe trying to hide a little bit from, what we're going through, a really rough sort of area of form, especially kind of, towards the sort of back end of last year. So I don't think he really found a position for us either. Obviously, he's meant to be playing sort of right wing, but he was put at left wing back. He was put in the 10 position to try and force his way into the side. Unfortunately, he just didn't pan out for him. I don't care that he's gone. I don't really have any issue with him going down to National League. Obviously, if that's where he's suited, then fine. I think it was one of those where he was a bit of the marquee signing. It didn't pan out because the reality didn't match the expectations. And yeah, that's it really. I think a number of things that kind of impacted it last season, but he wasn't at it. We took a chance. It didn't pay off. Off he goes.
Yeah, no, I just want to pick up on that though, Tom. Saying that he was probably not within the squad when we were doing badly. He was terrible. Like he was absolutely terrible.
I don't deny that. Yeah.
You've also got players that were actually trying last season, and he was just fucking like kicking the ball around like it was a Sunday league. Do you know what I mean? Like he was terrible. He was. Let's not make no qualms about it. He was bloody terrible. So it's not about players being picked up or players brought down. He was awful.
Agree, disagree. Move it on.
And Dwayne, lastly with you, mate. Obviously, the output that we got from Nolan was one goal. I'm going to ask you to kind of compare Jack Nolan to another summer signing from last season, which was Elliot Nevitt, that came in. They both came in on top form. One scored 20 goals, and I think one scored 15. Nevitt hasn't scored a lot of goals since he's come to us, but does have a really good work rate and runs his socks off, whether he's up front or like Saturday when he's played out of position in a wide area. Do you think that if Jack had just shown a bit more willingness to run, the Gills fans would have took to him more than they did?
Yeah, I mean, all we ask for as Gills fans is maximum effort. You know what I mean? if you go out there and you're not great, but you've run yourself into the ground, that's all we ask. And it's a strange one with Nolan. I was very excited when we signed him. I thought, great player, he's going to do well here. Obviously scored first game, and then he was non-existent on the pitch. He just sort of hid all the time. And I just think, was he that negative in the dressing room? Like, what were the other players like around him? I don't know. It's a strange one with Nolan because he should have been good. And like Chris said, he just shit, to be quite honest. And I think he's found his level now. And I wish him all the best, though. Dave played for Gills. I wish you all the best, but I'd quite happily never see him again at Priestfield, to be honest. Whereas Nevitt works hard. He's a workhorse. He runs himself into the ground. He might not get you a lot of goals, but we appreciate the effort.
Cool. And that was the Views News. I will hand you back to Chris.
Do you have to? Oh, shit. So we will just touch on the Magpies facts. And Notts County are the oldest professional football team in the world, founded in 1862. The club were once one of the 12 founding members of the Football League in 1888, and Albert Earmonger is their, sorry guys, but is their record appearance maker at 601. So we will quickly touch on the lineup. So we have Glenn Morris in goal. We had a back four of Max Clark. We had a back four of Andy Smith, Sam Gale, and then we had a midfield three of Johnny Williams. Sorry, my eyes are terrible today. We had a back four of, and then we had a midfield two of Elliot Levitt, and then we had a top two of Andy Smith. Sorry, guys, my eyes are terrible, and my missus is calling me, so I'm just going to get straight into this. And boys, we will talk about your lineup and your thoughts on the lineup, really.
Want me to take the first one?
Yeah, go
on. Well, I was with you, Chris. When I saw the lineups come out, first of all, I was like, I'm not going to lie, I was slightly panicked. I was just sitting there thinking, how on earth are we going to line up today? Because we've played a back five all season. And then part of me is thinking, surely we're not going into a game with a midfield three of Dak, Williams and Smith. So it was a bit of a relief when I saw it was a back four and they'd moved Mackenzie into midfield. I did feel a lot more confident with that. And more than anything, I was actually happy to see us show that we're willing to change formation. And that gave me, even though Gareth Ainsworth gives me lots of confidence, this gave me even more confidence in him, that in quite a big game, he was willing to change formation and go with a back four when we have barely played a back four all season. The only shock for me was potentially Nevitt playing out of position. And that's nothing on him, because to be fair, I thought second half he was really good. But when you look at the wingers that we had on the bench, Rowe, for example, I thought maybe he could have fit into this system a little bit better. But no, other than that, I was, surprised but happy. Tom, did you want to go next, mate?
Yeah, similar sort of views. Obviously, when you see it in black and white or blue and white, you sort of see it as these are the 11 players. You sort of wonder where they're all going to fit. When I got there and I saw Mackenzie in the back line warming up, doing the headers, I was like, okay, so we're going to play a back five and we're going to be very lightweight in midfield. Then it turns out he didn't play that way. Maybe that was just to throw the opposition off a little bit, because I do think it would have been too many square pegs and round holes if we'd done Smith in the middle as well. But no, it actually works out pretty well, as it does. And I think that a lot comes down to Ainsworth. You know, he said at the start of the season that he wants to play a certain way, but be able to adapt if we need to. And obviously this was a case where we had Little and Coleman out. We needed to adapt to bring players in there. But that back four, we'll go on to it more later on, but that back four was so solid, I think it would have helped if we did have a makeshift midfield, which we sort of did to an extent. it would have helped because that back four was just immense. And obviously, you mentioned Nevitt and that, and Smith's still got to get up to fitness with him coming down from Wigan, but that will come. And we've got options. We had Ogie back on the bench. We had Rowe on there. We had other players that could come in and see us through if we were flagging a little bit. So, yeah, the initial concern over where people might play was quickly removed when I saw Mackenzie in that midfield. But yeah, it was a good lineup overall.
And Dwayne, what about you? What were your thoughts when the lineups came out?
Yeah, initially I thought it would be a back five with Mackenzie, and I was slightly concerned about how the midfield would cope. I was quite pleased when the game started to see Mackenzie was in midfield. But yeah, I thought as a back four, solid, very solid. I think Smith and Gal, great games. I thought maybe Rowe might come into the team, but I wasn't too concerned that he didn't start the game. But yeah, I thought it was maybe slightly risky doing something a bit different, but the manager knows what he's doing, doesn't he? And it paid off in the end.
Chris has disappeared. He's in charge of the graphics, so we will discuss the game without a graphic change until Chris comes back. So, don't know how he's done that.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
That was weird.
It changed on its own.
Guys. No, I felt a little bit sick, so I had to go to the toilet. So anyway, yeah, we appreciate it, David. We are back onto the game then, guys. And Tom, I'll go with you, mate, and your overview on the game.
Yeah, so Notts came down last season and did a job on us, but it was a very different Notts County side and a very different Dual side back then. We know that they like possession. We know that they are probably not the most physical side, but I think this year we've got a good mixture of both the physicality and able to play football too. And I think it showed. I think the first half we started really well. They had maybe 10 minutes or so in the first half where they come at us a little bit and were a little bit more kind of threatening, but the stats don't lie. Realistically, it says that they had 9 shots. I can't think of where they came from, frankly. The one shot on target that they did have was a P-roller from Jones. And realistically, I just think we're going to score. I just think we're going to score at least one goal every game now, which is the difference with Ainsworth's side compared to previous. We look really good all over the park. Defensively, as I said before, we're solid. The full-backs were probably their best collective game for us for quite a while with both of them. Mackenzie in the middle was immense without really sort of standing out. And I think, up front, we looked threatening without sort of having too many chances, but we did look threatening. So all over the pitch, we were solid, better than Notts in pretty much every single area. And realistically, if you score one and you're able to keep it solid at the back, which we did, you're going to win the game. And I don't think we were really threatened at all by anything that they did. And I think I mentioned it after the game. I think it was all a case of, yes, a lot of people said that Notts County weren't very good, but I think it's because we made them not very good. I think we pressured them, we put them under, we put them under, and we gave them a high press, and we didn't allow them to play their game that often. And realistically, if you can do that at home to a good team, you're in a good place. So yeah, very very happy with it. And possession was lower than theirs, but don't care. It doesn't matter because we made ours count.
Yeah. For me, it was the same. Like, we pushed, we had the ball a lot. We didn't have a ball in possession wise, but we definitely did close them down, and we made them look very average. So yeah, David, your thoughts on the game?
I thought it was really good. Really enjoyed the game. It's nice going to a game now thinking that we've got a chance of winning, and whereas last year we were turning up thinking, oh God, are we even going to score a goal? Obviously, us at the View from the Medway had hospitality at the weekend, so for the first time in 27 years of going to football, I missed a goal for the first time ever. Have seen it, but I walked out as Josh Andrews was doing quite the cartwheel. So I did see the goal, and it was a great ball by Hutton. And as Tom said, for me, the fullbacks and the whole back four was probably one of the best defensive displays I've seen from a Gillingham defence in a long time. never at one point thought we were going to concede in that game. And especially after Smith had the tough game against Bromley. At the start of the season, I said that I didn't think I would trust Gale in a 2. Proved me wrong. I thought first half he was absolutely outstanding. Second half was really consistent. I thought Dak was phenomenal. Probably one of his best performances since he's been back. And then obviously on to my favourite topic, which is Gillingham forwards. I feel like Josh Andrews is winning me round. Again, we go on about huff and puff, and sometimes you think, they do a lot of running, but there's no outcome, there's no output. For me, I think we're now hopefully seeing the reason that we signed Josh Andrews. We're getting a nice run of form. He's physical, he's mobile, he looks a threat, and yeah, I think once we can get some sort of formula up front with a partnership that will work moving forward, I think we're on for a really good thing. And whether that again is Nevitt or Palmer Holden, I'm happy just as long as they start scoring. I'm more than happy. And a bit like Tom said as well regarding Notts County, it was one of those things where they're one of the teams that I quite enjoy watching when they come down, because they do play some nice stuff, but they just offered nothing. The front two were. It's like watching a Gillingham front two of last season. It was just a lot of running with not a lot. And yeah, overall, I cannot complain. We've levelled the club record, and we move on to Newport next week to hopefully break it.
Yeah. Apologies for leaving, guys. I felt a little bit sick, so I had to go off and do that. So yeah. Anyway, Dwayne, your thoughts on the game, mate?
Yeah. Echoing pretty much what's been said. I thought very good defensively. I thought we looked really good composed. First half, there was a decent shot from Smith that was quite close to going in. There was a decent pass and movement between Dak, Williams and Clark, I think it was. It was quite decent. You had Sam Gale pretty much run the length of the pitch and then hit a defender shot. And obviously, second half, big shout out to Hutton for that assist. That was some assist. And the header was absolute class. And then after we go 1-0 up, you're expecting, here we go, Notts County will come on strong now. And I thought if any team were going to score again, it was going to be us. They offered nothing. Well, Nevitt could have made it 2-0. And what's impressing me is we're finding ways to win games that last season we probably would have lost to a last-minute horrible trickly goal that would just go in. And all their play was in front of our defence. I thought our defence had quite an easy game, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, it was a strange one from Notts County. I was really expecting them to come on strong after we went 1-0 up. But if anything, I thought we were going to go on to score again. I think we were unlucky not to be honest. So yeah, impressed. Yeah. Very.
Yeah, no, I think it was it's a difficult one to call, isn't it? Because you look at Notts County of recent years, you look at the way that we've played against them in recent years. I definitely thought they would come out and be a bit stronger, especially with Matthew Dennis. Yeah, they didn't. They just didn't really give us any kind of attempt to. No disrespect to Notts County fans, but they were terrible. I don't think that would then play into the fact that maybe we were better. I don't know. Would that then play into the fact that maybe we just nullified them really in defence? And it's in recent weeks our defence has been our best form of attack really. The amount of man of the matches they've got. So I don't know, mate. I don't know. So we will move on to our man of the match, and we will go with Dwayne first because he's the first person to come on the show. Well, not the first person, but he's his first one.
Yeah, so obviously I've gone for Hutton. And the reason I've gone for Hutton is I've never really been his biggest fan since he came to Gillingham. And to be honest, I still think we do need a bit of competition in that area to get the best out of him on a consistent basis. But credit where credit's due. I thought he was excellent going forward, coming back. What an assist for the goal, like I said earlier. I thought he was ran close by a few. I think Williams, Gale, Dak. But I've given him plenty of stick in the past, so I think it's only fair that he gets props when he plays well. So well done, keep it up. Hopefully, it's a sign of things to come.
There we go, and we will touch on David and your reasons for Andy Smith.
Well, I think I said earlier it could have been any of the back four for me, and I just think off the back of his worst performance for the club at Bromley, I thought he was phenomenal. I said he didn't have to do loads, but what he did well. He won pretty much every single header, won majority of his tackles, and I thought he marshalled the defence really well. And yeah, I think that's the Andy Smith that we know, and hopefully the Andy Smith that we get for the rest of the season.
There we go, and we will touch on Tom and your reasons for Hutton.
Yeah, same as Dwayne really, but I think for me there was concerns about whether he would be exposed in a 4 at the back. I don't think that was the case. I think actually he was solid at the back, probably more so defensively actually than attack on Saturday. I think he was kind of, he was good going both ways, and there was a run he made towards the end of the match where he sort of went by himself, and I think the attitude shift in Hutton and the mentality change in Hutton, he's always been a little bit relaxed, maybe a little bit too much, a little bit too casual. But I think he's showing more now under Ainsworth that he wants to hold down this role. And credit where it's due, obviously, as David said, that the whole back four could have won it. But I think he stood out for me as someone who's made more of an impact in recent weeks, and hopefully that continues.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I went for Daki purely because, like, from where we were sitting, he was just everywhere. And when we were coming to the touchline, he was telling everyone what to do. He was captain for the day, and I really feel that he took that on his shoulders, and he was really like there and really like telling everyone exactly what they should be doing. So we quickly touched on the Views news. So we talk about last week, and we had Bristol Rovers versus Barrow was 3-0 to us, and 2-0 to Sarah. We had Chesterfield Milton Keynes was 2-2 to us and 1-1 to Sarah. We then had Oldham and Bromley was 1-1 to us and 2-1 to Sarah Bromley's way. We then had Tranmere Newport, which was 1-0 to us and 2-1 to Sarah on Tranmere's way, and then 2-1 to us and 1-1 to Sarah. So that's good. Then we have Fleetwood and Walsall. It was 2-1 to Walsall and 0-0 Sarah. So the actuals were 2-1 to Bristol Rovers, Chesterfield 1-0, Oldham 1-0 to Bromley, Tranmere 1-0 with Newport. Well, yeah, 1-0 Newport. We won, obviously, with Notts County, and Fleetwood and Walsall were 1-0. The week's results then. So Rob didn't actually scupper too much. Well done, mate. So we got 6, Sarah got 9, the View from the Medway got 49, and guests are 49. So we're all square for the week. I'm trying to work out where it is. So next week's results. So we got Dwayne to do this. Mr. Dwayne Hill, the lover of hills at away games.
Lover of hills. Yeah.
So Barnet Grimsby, we've gone 2-1 to Grimsby. He's gone 2-1 Grimsby. Barrow and Crew, we've gone 2-0. He's gone 2-0. Newport Gillingham. Can you guess who has actually given us that result? Tom.
What, the 2-0? Oh, no. Who's going by form?
No. Newport Gillingham.
Yes.
Can you see our result? 2-0 to Newport. Could you probably hazard a guess?
It's not Warren, is it? He's probably got a point there, to be fair. We haven't seen that for a while.
And Dwayne has gone 3-1 to us against Newport. Salford, Swindon, We've gone 2-1 to Swindon, and Dwayne's gone 1-0. Yeah, Cheltenham, Oldham 1-0 to Cheltenham, and we've gone. Dwayne's gone 1-0 to Oldham. Colchester and Bristol Rovers, we've gone 3-1, and Dwayne has gone 2-1 to Bristol Rovers. So we will quickly move on to. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really struggling at the moment. I don't feel very well. So we're going to a look ahead, and David, I'll let you take this one, mate.
I think this is a big test for us, actually. You only have to look at the form and what normally happens when we play teams with this type of form, but we just look a completely different side at the moment, and I'm hopefully not in a silly way too confident, but I can only see us winning. And I feel crazy saying it because of how we normally perform at places like this, and our form at Newport is never good. There was rumours there was a frozen pitch there last year, and it all went a little bit wrong. But I can only see a Gilles win, and I actually think it'd be a comfortable win. I think we're win by a couple of goals, whether that's 2-0, 3-1. I think it'd be quite a comfortable day. Don't clip that.
Yeah, and Dwayne.
I kind of wish I'd predicted a Newport win, to be honest with you, because I'm a bit of a curse. I'm actually banned from betting on Gilles because I always get it wrong whenever I put them in the accumulator. So if we do lose, then it's on me. Sorry, lads. But I'm confident going into the game. I think at the minute I'll be confident going into any game with this Gilles team on the form we're on. Obviously, away games are always tough, but you're looking at the form, it screams convincing away win, but we all know it's probably likely to be a scrappy 1-0 win, probably, isn't it, really? But I thought I'd go 3-1 just to add a bit of flair. But I'm confident. And by looks of it as well, we're going to get big numbers going away as well again, which is good to see. So, hopefully they'll bring back the 3 points.
Yeah, Tom, yourself, mate.
Yeah, it sounds bad to say, but I'm just in a don't lose mentality because it's Newport, and I just think like we've been to Tranmere, Accrington, Oldham. We got like 5 points out of those. Like they're all tough places to go, but Newport for some reason at Newport, whether it's home or away, we just don't seem to cut it. We haven't won there in the last seven head-to-heads, and we've played pretty badly in a lot of them too. So for some reason, Newport and us just don't seem to sync up, but. That was a different ball game. Obviously, the way that we're playing now, Ainsworth's got us playing effective football. That we can go ahead and beat someone like this at their grounds. They're in a bad run of form, as you can see, and normally we'd be going, oh, well, that means it's a dead cert Newport win. But as Dwayne said, we could go 1-0 up and we could hold out a game much better now than we have done before. And if we go a goal down, we could get back into it a bit better than before. Last year was an absolute horror show, but we come back from Bromley in a similar situation last week. So who knows? I'll go just get anything and bring it back to Kent. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So before we go, we'll have a couple of there's been a few comments. Don't know if they all make sense, but the bubble is going to burst. We're not good enough. Okay, whatever.
Should we pick that apart now or later?
It's so nice, isn't it? When you've got 20 games unbeaten and someone's still saying that we're not good enough. Okay.
I would like an explanation as to why that is before we...
Go on then, Josh Hughes. Give your best explanation before we get off air. If you don't, then don't.
Genuinely all for comments, but
hold on. Manager isn't my cup of tea.
Okay. April 1st, guys. April 1st. But no, we genuinely we're not here to pick apart people's opinions, but back it up with something.
Yeah. Just because he's not your cup of tea. So okay. I guess that's something then. So we will move on then. I guess
he might be a Shrewsbury fan.
He might be. and they are very salty, but I don't have any crisps to back that up.
Don't put salt in your tea then.
Hold on, we've got another. Hold on, I will back it up then. Go on then.
What, as in retract it or?
I don't know. It's a little bit of a weird comment to be fair. Not really
Anyway.
that bothered. I do apologise for shooting off earlier. I didn't feel very well and I had to be sick. So yeah, apologies for that. So obviously we are sponsored and partnered by Snodhurst Used Car Sales and Service Station, Wicked Creative. We are then in partnership with the Gillingham FC Supporters Club, Her Game 2 and Sports Social Podcast Network. And I apologise for shooting off because it probably did take away a little bit of stuff, but I'm still trying to find his comment. I don't think we've got it. No, he's not actually gone back to it. So cool, fair enough. So yeah, anyway, David, do you want to do the outro bit?
Of course. If you don't already, please give us a like, share, follow. We are on Facebook at The View from the Medway, on YouTube at The View from the Medway Fancast, and on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at The View from the Medway or at TVFTM. Go give us a like, follow, and smash that subscribe button on YouTube.
So I've come. So apparently we'll come on the live when we get a. Okay, right. Welsh sides. We don't play Welsh sides, mate. Sorry, bro. Anyway, yeah. So I just thought I thought it was interesting. But anyway, I've been Chris. He's been David. He's been Dwayne. He's been Tom. Good night and up the jewels.